Hey, you guys, welcome back. So happy to be here with you. The name of today's podcast episode is Not Everything Works. And I feel like you're probably like, okay, Lori, is this going to be like a doom and gloom? Like, hop off the ship, get off now, and you can? And like, no. This is going to be like absolutely an uplifting and fun podcast episode. But I just want to bring realization around the notion that not everything we do in business is going to work and is going to take off. And I want us to start to kind of like shift into like, allowing things to not work sometimes because I think, and this is from my own personal experience, that sometimes I get so, and I think this is conditioned into us, right? Like the need to succeed, the need to like have things come to fruition, the need to like have achievements, like those kind of things. And we can get really caught up in what failure means, or when things don't turn out the way that we thought that they would, like what that means about us, the way that that feels inside. And here's the thing, it doesn't mean a damn thing. If something doesn't work, if something that doesn't fly, I want us to learn to let it go and to move on. The worst thing that we can actually do is throw more time, energy, money at things when they're not working, right? Like, let's say you sign your kid up for hockey and they freaking hate it. And you're like, well, if you just got out there and you just practiced a little bit more, you get better at it. And if you got a little bit better at it, then you would start to like it. And like every single week, you're dragging this kid by their coat. And like, you guys, I am a massive believer in finishing the things that we start, but I have to wonder if that's just the conditioning in me. If like maybe I've wasted hours and days and years of my life, like finishing things because I believe that when we start something, we finish it, right? What if like we start something and it's not meant to be, and we know damn well it's not meant to be, and we just allow ourselves to let it go, to stop throwing time, money, resources, energy at something that we know in our heart and in our soul really wasn't meant to be. And I think what we really need to like be able to do in order to honor this inside of ourselves is be able to know when it's fear or when it's truth, right? Like, is it fear that's telling you this isn't working? And if you just like let go of that fear and went all in with your heart and your soul, like, you know what I mean? Like when you start a business, there's just so many layers of fear in that. And there's going to be so many times where you're like, oh, this isn't working. I should just run away while I still can before anybody really even notices that I started and stopped a business kind of thing. Like that to me, that isn't like when we should let it go. That isn't like dragging our kid to that hockey practice that they were never meant to be in the first place. But that is like recognizing our own fears around something and doing the work that it takes to let go of those fears. However, when we do strategies inside of our business that like just don't line up in the end, that just don't go the way that we thought, or maybe they don't feel the way we thought they would feel. Like there's so many instances I can think back in my business where I'm like, yeah, like I said I was going to do that, but like it just doesn't make sense afterwards. Like, so for instance, I'm going through this right now, which is really the reason why I'm hopping on and doing this podcast episode, because it's really coming up for me right now in my boutique. So I have this Level Up boutique. My idea behind it was going to be a fundraising driver and blah blah blah. But what I'm finding is that it's taking all of my energy to even like think about doing it, not because it didn't come from a place that like a purpose, but because what I'm realizing is the margins are so small that I'm actually not able to have the impact that I desire to have. And it's creating so much work and I'm actually losing money. So I have a choice when I come to this crossroads, right? I can look at it analytically and be like, okay, Lori, what does your heart tell you to do? Like, does this feel like something that you want to like still go full throttle at? And maybe the answer is yes. Maybe I'm like, yeah, I know, with a couple tweaks, a couple revisions, maybe another couple product line, like whatever it is, I can be like, yeah, I can make a go of this. Or maybe I can look at it and be like, you know what? What if I take what I've learned from this and I come at it a different way? What if I drop a couple of the products? What if I keep what is working? What I have actually decided is to use a lot of these pieces as like presents for my clients and to do like to shift into doing fundraising drives. And what I've actually done is turn the majority of my network marketing business into an opportunity to fundraise for different initiatives, because I was like, well, that's something I'm doing already. All I have to do is shift the purpose of what I'm doing. So it's really easy. But for me, there's a certain piece inside of this boutique and this decision to let it go that feels like failure. And so I have to take a whole hard look at that and say, Lori, did you fail? No. Something just didn't work the way that it was supposed to. And rather than, or the way that I thought it would, the way that I expected it to. And rather than like, just like slap my hands and be like, well, like I have a decision, right? Like I could just like be like, walk away from it without acknowledging what I got from it. Or I could keep going at it, keep like going against something that I know isn't really the direction that I desire to go, or I could just pivot. And sometimes we need to do those power pivots inside of our businesses and inside of our lives to really acknowledge what is working and what isn't working, because not everything works. And the sooner you can recognize that, the sooner that you can actually pull the lessons from the thing that you did and power pivot in a new direction. Take it in a new, take what you loved from it, take what did work and leave the rest. And it's funny because I invest all over the place in my business, right? I invest thousands and thousands of dollars in training every single month. I have built a team that is an investment in my business because I pay them for their work and their passion and all those things. I invest in different programs that make my business easier, or different apps and whatever, right? Like it's not a fear of investment that I have. I don't. However, every single month when I saw that money, and it's $29, you guys, but when I saw it on the credit card, I was like, ugh, that doesn't feel good. That needs to be your indication, because it's 29 bucks. Like 29 bucks, like you know, I wasted that yesterday. Absolutely. But for me, that $29 and the way that that $29 made me feel was an indication that I needed to pivot. I needed to make a change. I need to figure out why this didn't feel good. I think we just need to become so much more aware of the way that we're feeling and allow those feelings to just like sit with them. Ask yourself the questions, allow yourself to feel those things and make these power pivots that like will change everything, right? If we follow the breadcrumbs in our business, follow the things that are lighting us up, follow the things that are giving us energy, follow the things that feel good, inevitably those breadcrumbs are going to lead you to your legacy, to your like salvation, to all of the amazing things that you are meant to do on this earth. But if you constantly like continue to beat your head into a brick wall, that's not going to get you anywhere. That brick wall is not going to move. Your head is not strong enough to make it in it, right? It's just going to continue to bruise you and lower your vibration and lower your energy and like frustrate the hell out of you. So let yourself know that it doesn't mean anything about you when something doesn't work. It just is a life lesson or a business lesson that we need to like put into our toolbox, take with us, learn from, power pivot from, and move on. Let it go. Do not let that be the thing that drags your energy down until the end of time, right? Your energy could serve you in so much, like in a better way somewhere else. I almost guarantee it. And there's probably 106 examples of this, even in the past like 6 months inside of my business, where I've been like, yep, I was going to go that way, but like I really listened to the way that I was feeling when I was walking down that path. And I know that isn't the right path. And you are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to follow the breadcrumbs, and not everything is going to work. And that's okay. It doesn't mean anything about you. But I will leave you with this. I want you to get really, really honest with yourself in these moments where you're telling yourself that something isn't working. Because is it that something that isn't working, or is it you that isn't working inside of that? Or is it a fear that is coming to the surface that wants to like hold you back and is telling you a story inside of your mind that really isn't true, right? So you have to look at the facts. The facts for me were my boutique. The products were incredible in it. The event, like the women that I'm working with inside of it, amazing, but it just wasn't becoming a pillar inside of my business the way that I thought it was. So I'm taking what I learned from it, I'm pulling the things that are working inside my business, and I'm going a new direction. However, right, like I don't have to keep going down that path. However, I know it's not fear. I don't have any fear around this boutique. I had excitement around it, had energy around it. And then I realized that, you know what, and the thing is that I know that in 6 months, because I'm power pivoting right now and I'm following these breadcrumbs, I know that in 6 months from now, I will look back and I'll be like, yep, this is exactly the way that it was meant to go. This is exactly the way that it was supposed to happen. And because I honored my own truth, I'm on the right path. Don't let fear hold you back from your path. Don't let fear be the thing that doesn't allow you to follow those breadcrumbs, right? So, you guys, food for thought here. Like, what in your business right now is, or even in your life, is not working? Feels like that brick wall that you're hitting your head up against. Like, it's just not where you want to put your time, energy, resources, money, whatever it is. Like, what can you let go of today that will free you up for what you want to build tomorrow? Because when we let go of these things that aren't serving us, that these things were acting like anchors because they were anchoring into our energy and depleting us, like that, the simple like rolling of ideas around in our head constantly, like where we're like, oh, how can I make this work? Oh, this doesn't feel good, but I need to do this, and like I should do that, and blah 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 blah. That is a leak of energy that you can't have if you want to give your energy to the things that truly light you up, right? The things that truly you're meant to do in this world. We got to let go of those shoulds, right? The have tos, and allow ourselves the time and the freedom to do the things that we love. So take a hard look at your life right now. And if you start to pay attention to the way that you feel, you'll know it. And my guess is some of you that are listening to this right now, you already know what those anchors are in your life. And it's just sometimes allowing ourselves to like to let it go, like to allow that to not mean anything about us, right? I didn't fail, I learned. I didn't fail, I made a different decision, I made a different choice. The choices are all yours. Let go of the excuses, let go of the stories, let go of all of those anchors that are holding you back and keeping you weighted down, and just live the life you are meant to live. All right, you guys, hopefully you are having an incredible week. I hope you know what, if you love this episode, if you love any of these episodes, if you love any of the work that I'm doing in the world, I would love to encourage you to share them over on the socials, Facebook, Instagram. I'm always Ms. Lori Irvin. I always love to hear from you. I will shout you right back when you share stuff. But I think this is the way that we make a difference in the world. And this is the way we spread the things that we are learning and loving and energized by. So I would love you forever if you would tag this episode and tag me, and I'll tag you right back. Anyways, you guys, have a really good day. I will talk to you soon, and I will see you inside the next episode.